Alright you guys, continuing on. About an hour and a half to a bit about 2 hours later now guys, from when I uploaded the last video there. 2 hours on YouTube there now, and I'm still showing no views. So anyway, this video is called God Beyond Religion, guys. And this is video 2 here now, this afternoon. So this is June the 20th, still June the 20th, at nearly 6:30 in the early evening, very late afternoon, early evening there now guys, 2024. And I said earlier about the temperature. It's said it was the hottest day so far this year. Went up to 29 degrees. My computer gives the temperature at the bottom left hand corner there. It fluctuates back and forth and so on. For the past couple hours or so now, past 2-3 hours, it's been fluctuating between 28 and 29 degrees, and now it's saying it's 26. It was I said it was very comfortable in the room here, and so it was there more or less when I was doing the video there earlier. And now it, while I was fiddling around here trying to upload the stuff and straighten things up with the camera there and all the rest of it, it got quite warm here. I had to turn the fans up a little higher and all the rest of it. So don't know how this evening is going to progress, guys. How the night's going to progress, if it's going to get really, really muggy here or not. Hopefully it's not going to get so bad it's going to interfere with the cameras, but we'll see. I've got a GoPro camera here guys that I use for my videos, and you know the way they advertise GoPro cameras, it's you know, you're supposed to be able to use it in extreme heat, extreme cold, all this sort of stuff. You know, that's one of the reasons why I bought the GoPro. And not so sure about the extreme cold, but it doesn't handle extreme heat very well at all, guys. So high teens or low 20s Celsius is not too bad. Pushing mid 20s, you know, you can you know, but once you take it up into the high 20s, low 30s here guys, this thing just goes all haywire. So I have no idea what it is in the room here right now. I don't think it's beyond 30. I mean, I think it's pretty much what's saying on the laptop here, but so we're just going to continue on here now, and I'm going to jump right in here now guys, 2 minutes in already, and get into what I wanted to talk about here now guys. And I refer to video 1 here now for a little bit of background information that I gave there a little earlier about my religious background, religious upbringing and all the rest of it here guys, just so you can get some sense of what I'm about, my background and all the rest of it, and other videos I've uploaded as well where I get into that sort of stuff, my background a little bit as well. It seems to be pointless to say it in every video because then I use up too much time here and all the rest of it, you know. So safe to say that I come from a very, very long religious background guys, and before that sort of like introduced to spiritual concepts, I guess, at a very, very early age from my grandmother and so on and so forth. My grandmother passed away when I was 7 years of age. At 8 years of age, I had my first sort of mystical, spiritual type of experience, in that I was wondering about the whole reason why my nan passed away and so on and so forth, and praying about that and trying to work it over in my mind and all the rest of it. And so I came to the point where I decided that even though I couldn't understand the reasoning behind her being taken, when because she wasn't super old, she was only in her 60s herself when she passed away. Why God had to take my nan and leaving my mom pretty well desolate, you know, with no confidant, no companion, nobody to turn to, and all the rest of it for her guidance and comfort and all the rest of it. And my mom had a lot of problems with her nerves and been in and out of hospital for depression issues and so on and so forth. Also religious. I think her idea of religion kind of contributed to her mental illness, though, to be honest with you. And after my nan passed away there, guys, you know, my mom was never the same afterwards, you know, and for the rest of my life, you know, until I left home at 20 years of age, all I witnessed was my mom being in and out of the hospital and being sick and all the rest of it. And I suspect that her mom's passing had a good chunk to do with that sort of thing, you know. So at age 12, I got involved with the church and all the rest of it, you know, Christianity and all that sort of thing. At age 12, I gave my life over to Jesus. That you know what you're supposed to do as a Christian and all the rest of it sort of thing. And from age 12 up to around 18, 19 or so there, guys, I pretty well threw myself into church and religious activities and all the rest of it. From a Salvation Army background, I'm from a Salvation Army background. And but I'm also a thinking person, guys. I'm a deep thinking person, and having questions my entire life, and never having answers to those questions. And as happens with so many people that walk away from the religion itself, I got into reading the Bible and so on and so forth, and the stories in the Bible, and I couldn't reconcile in my heart and my mind the things that I read in the Bible that didn't seem to make sense to me, that didn't seem to be justified, that didn't seem to be humane and godly and all the rest of it sort of thing, that God seemed to condone and actually actively encouraged. And asking ministers about it, trying to get answers about these things and not getting satisfactory answers, and constantly being told, guys, that I should just take these things on faith, and that was it. And I couldn't do it, guys. I couldn't do it. Like so many, like I'm discovering online here now, there are probably hundreds of thousands, maybe several million people world over, from a Christian background alone, that walked away from Christianity because they couldn't stomach, well, basically what the Bible was teaching, particularly the Old Testament part of it, what we call the Old Testament part of it, what it was teaching and what God seemed to condone. But now, in the meantime, this didn't square away very well with my desire to want to still believe in God, you know. And so I continued to believe in God and still continue to believe in God. But from, I would say, my late teens onward, guys, I just went on my own personal journey, my own personal search. And I was doing that actually before I kind of walked away from religion, Christianity and all the rest of it sort of thing, with delving into books and checking things out that because I always had questions, you know, from very, very early on. And I sought those answers in the material, other material outside of what the Bible was teaching and ministers were telling me and all the rest of it sort of thing. I mentioned this before, guys. I got to keep checking the time as I go along here. And I just really got to keep these within the 60-minute time frame, guys, because I've just discovered with my last video that I can only get about 16 to 17 odd minutes to the time frame in, and it's going to get cut off on me automatically anyway. Chopped up again and uploaded to separate videos. So I don't want that, so I'll have to keep checking a lot now and make sure I don't go past my 16 minutes that I'm allowing for myself. Which makes it difficult for me to get so many things in that quickly, because unless I have everything written down, guys, these are tough topics to talk about and be focused on and be coordinate, you know, fluid in your thoughts, sort of thing, as you're trying to get it out, what you want to say, sort of thing. As I was searching in these different areas, these different avenues, I came across teachings that were different from what you know, that Christianity was teaching and all the rest of it sort of thing, and asked the ministers about all this, and basically got the very lame answer, very religious answer of course as well, that it was wrong for me to be searching out answers about these things outside of the Bible and outside of Christianity and so on and so forth, that Everything that I needed to find out, needed to know, was within the religion itself, and that it was wrong and it was evil to question those things. Again, at a pretty early age, guys, that didn't make sense to me. That didn't make sense. And what dawned on me at a very early age, guys, and this is where I say that my mind seems to work differently, I think differently or whatever, that didn't make sense to me. And because it didn't make sense to me, because it didn't fit any line of logic, I found it difficult to accept that sort of thing, you know. So anyway, the long and short of that was that by the time I got into my late teens, guys, I had pulled so far away from the church and questioned the Bible so much and the teachings of the Bible, I had already basically pretty much given it all up, sort of thing, you know. And so when you do that, you find yourself in a situation there, guys, where you're in this gray area for a while, you know. So you don't know what to be doing with yourself. You don't know what to be thinking. You don't know how to proceed from there. And there was a relatively long period of time there, guys, where I had to fight the fear mongering that Christianity is so good at throwing on people, heaping on people. The fact that, okay, you're questioning now, you're pulling away, you're turning away, you're going against your beliefs, you're going against your promises and your commitments that you made and all the rest of it, sort of thing. You're backsliding, which was the term that we used all the time in my denominational background. And so if you stay on this path, you know, you're no longer saved, and you're destined for, well, you know what you're destined for, right? Hell and eternal damnation, sort of thing. So I really had to struggle to work through that part of it, guys, to come to a point where several years later, in my early 20s, where I said to myself, this is bull, this is garbage, this is crap, this is like, God doesn't operate this way, God can't operate this way, this doesn't make sense, it's not logical, it's not spiritual. Every part of my being reacted against that kind of thinking and that kind of teaching. You know, like it screamed out at me that this just can't be right, sort of thing, you know. So slowly but surely, guys, I had to learn to start trusting my intuition, and start trusting my intuition. I've got the YouTube main page of my channel up there right now, guys. To say to myself, you know, it's like, where you're going to, the direction you're going in is good, it's wise for you, it's insightful, just continue down that path and just trust your intuition, trust your sixth sense or whatever, sort of thing, that what you're trying to do is okay, you know. And of course, I mean, it's bad enough here in St. John's, guys. St. John's is not that big a sophisticated place, sort of thing. I just see it as being a small hick town, to be honest with you, for the most part. I'm not coming in contact with any highly sophisticated people and highly enlightened people anywhere around here in St. John's either. And St. John's is the capital of the province, you know. So you can only imagine how bad it was for me growing up in Torringate, a small little rural fishing village, highly religious, even if they weren't, like, everyone was a born-again Christian or whatever. I had nobody, guys, absolutely nobody to talk to about any of these sorts of things, that get deeper, more insightful answers, and to go somewhere with somebody on these things, you know, a little deeper. And so I just stuck to myself, just kept doing my thing. And after I left home, you know, when I was in Gander, I spent a couple of years in Gander, did the same thing in Gander, and all my years now since I've been in St. John's, I've been doing the same thing. And so what that is leading up to, guys, is that after I've been away from Twillingate now pushing 40 odd years. So I was got to be over 40 years, because it was like 2 or 3 years before I left home that I was kind of pulling away from the church and organized religion and all the rest of it. So it's been over 40 years now, guys, that I've been going down this path and developing my own sense of things. So I've got my own insights now. I've got my own feel about things, and my own ideas about things, and my own sense of things, and all the rest of it. And the journey is still ongoing, guys. It's still my belief system isn't carved in stone. It's fluid. It's able to change and evolve. You know, and it's a good thing, because I think just the way proper spirituality should be, regardless. You know. Okay, I'm gonna have to clue it off right now in a second or two there, guys, and start up again with my third video. So that's kind of basically where I'm at now. So like I said, now I turned 59 years of age there about a week and a half ago. Last year for my 50s now, guys. I'm preparing myself throughout this year for when I turn 60 next year, and hopefully, I hope to good God, the beginning of a whole new chapter in my life, sort of thing. But I need to be squared away really well and comfortable really well in my heart and mind and everything about myself, so I can start off my 60s properly and very healthy and very certain of where I stand in the things that I believe in, and where I'm at spiritually and all the rest of it, sort of. So okay, now guys, that's my 16 minutes, just over 16 minutes. So I'm going to do my level best to keep that 16-minute mark. So I'm going to take care, God bless, and I'm going to start up again in a moment, Joe. Bye for now. Bye-bye.